Welcome to the One Shot Ship Review Show, Solo Edition, Episode 1. The goal of this series is to cover every ship with a minimum crew of 1, but a maximum crew of 3, with the hopes of helping new and experienced players find the best daily driver for them when they're not in the mood for multi-crew. With that, let's get started with the star of today's episode, the Origin 300 series. First, let's get started by going over the rules of this review and what we'll be covering. As stated previously, we will only be covering ships with a minimum crew of 1 and a maximum crew of 3. This is for several reasons, one of course being the upcoming arrival of 4.0 in engineering, which will make most medium and large ships impractical for a solo player. A score or rating will be provided at the end of the video based on how useful we believe the ship is, all while considering how easily the ship can be used without other crew members. We'll be covering performance in a variety of scenarios that highlight the primary function of the ship in the current and upcoming patches. This is only our review. Though we try to be unbiased, your impressions of the ship may differ from our own. If you like the ship, buy it. If not, then don't. Now that we've clarified the rules and what to expect, let's get started with the review. Full disclaimer. The 300 series includes 4 ship variants, the 300i, 315p, 325a, and 350r. For the sake of time, for this review, we'll be focusing on only one of those variants, the one that I believe to be the best all-arounder, the 325a. Labeled as the fighter, or more accurately, the interceptor of the 300 series, the 325a starts at $70 with options to upgrade and customize. For that price, you get a ship that outruns most others in the verse, while boasting 1 size 4 hardpoint on the nose, 2 size 3 hardpoints on the wings, and a battery of small missiles. In addition, you get an external cargo grid that drops down from the chassis. Though too small to carry any ground vehicles aboard, you do have enough space for 4 standard cargo units of storage. This makes the 325A a viable ship to do small box delivery missions, bunker looting, or you can even abscond with a few SCU of contraband materials that you happen to find while out doing bounties. Moving on to the exterior aesthetics, the 300 series ships benefits from the high society design language that is characteristic of all Origin Jumpworks vessels. They combine sleek lines and top-end finishes to produce some of the highest quality ships in the verse. Moving on to the interior of the ship, we encounter what I believe to be the first major flaw of the 300 series, the entrance. Anytime you'd like to enter or exit the ship, you have to wait through the door and ladder animation. In high-stress scenarios where you're attempting to flee a scene, this animation can cost crucial seconds in a moment when you have none to spare. Once you enter, however, you're greeted by perhaps one of the best layouts and uses of space in the game so far. Starting at the cockpit, we find our eyeline drawn forward due to the window orientation that echoes the aggressive exterior ship lines. Even for a ship this size, the 300 series manages to make the interior feel spacious, largely in part due to the 180-degree view window from the pilot's seat and the massive skylight that runs the entire length of the ship. If you're like many Star Citizen players, amenities offered by a ship are just as important as ship performance, and the 300 series comes teeming with options. First off, you get a food maker. It doesn't serve any function in the game yet, but in the future, it will provide a free and unlimited means to nourish your character when your food stat is low. Likewise, we have a coffee maker which is functioning and provides means to replenish your character's hydration stat. We also have access to a small refrigerator for storing perishable goods. Moving on from the kitchen, we have a gun rack that can store 2 long guns and 3 sidearms. Additionally, we have an internal storage compartment with a 650,000 micro SCU storage capacity. This can be useful for storing extra sets of gear, med pens, or small items of value you find while adventuring in the verse. Moving on, we have a bed with customizable bed sheets, a clock, and a picture frame that doesn't appear to do anything other than glow. Currently, a bed is a very useful tool that allows you to log out of the game in your ship and pick up right where you left off the next time you log in. Finally, we have a ship restroom, which, in the future, will allow players to maintain their hygiene stat, a feature not yet in the game. Let's move the discussion over to speed and maneuverability. While in atmosphere, the 325A reaches speeds upwards to 250 meters per second while in SEM mode. Even more impressive is the max speed in navigation mode, which reaches over 400 meters per second. Meaning if a pilot has a strong command over master modes and knows when to switch between them, they can easily reposition in the middle of a fight to gain a tactical advantage while avoiding incoming fire. While in space, those numbers of course change dramatically, with a max attainable speed of 1,425 meters per second while in navigation mode, over 100 more than what's reported on the official Star Citizen website. When it comes to handling, the 300 series is right up there with the best, being able to turn on a dime in both atmosphere and in space. A word of caution, however, it's very easy to let these speeds get away from you, so if you're coming into a space station while in nav mode, I recommend turning slightly away from the main body of the station so as to avoid collision. Now let's talk combat performance. The 325A, like other ships in this class, is not designed to absorb hits and keep fighting. The shield is there as a tertiary defense, with your primary and secondary being your speed and maneuverability. With that said, the average pilot can likely take the 325A up to HRT level bounties without much of an issue. Special care should be taken to prioritize getting into position and out of harm's way when bullets start flying. Against larger ships, your best tactic is to put yourself on your opponent's rear flank at a relatively short distance using your vertical and horizontal strafes to keep your guns on target. A talented pilot can take the 325A up to ERT level bounties, but for contracts on that level, I do recommend bringing a friend or two in their own interceptor fighters.
Shields under attack.
When it comes to operating costs, the 325A is an economical option, to say the least. After running several bounties and taking marginal amounts of hull damage, you can expect to pay in the hundreds to low thousands for restock and repairs. Now it's time to summarize the pros and cons of the 325A. Beginning with the pros, it's fast and maneuverable. It has surprisingly good DPS so long as you can stay on target and pressure your opponent. It has 4 SCU of storage, which is small but sizable for a ship in this class. It has a coffee maker and a food maker, which limit the need to bring along sustenance. It has internal ship storage for a second set of gear and supplies. It has gun racks, low operating costs, and nearly full amenities, missing only a shower and the included restroom. Moving on to the cons, all members of the 300 series ship line suffer from very low shield and hull HP, which means you don't have much room for mistakes. They have a small QT drive and fuel, meaning more fuel stops if you plan on traveling to multiple planets. The SEU storage is external, so you can't manage or access that additional inventory without leaving your ship, and the MFDs could be better, which is an issue I didn't discuss as they're doing a rework on all MFDs in 3.24.2. Overall, we give the 300 series an 8.1 out of 10, with a bonus 0.5 for the coffee maker and food machine, plus an additional 0.25 for the other customizable options in the cash shop on robertspaceindustries.com, which puts our total at an 8.85 out of 10, making it a solid choice for players wanting a budget-friendly option for engaging in multiple gameplay loops in the Star Citizen universe. But now that you know our score, let me know your thoughts on the 300 series. Also, let me know which ship you'd like to see reviewed next. Our aim is to put out 2 long-form videos per week in this style and expand to more video types in the near future. I appreciate you watching and would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you soon.